Okay guys, today we're going to be reviewing a 2004 350Z. I did the shitty ass paint job. I did the okay rim job. I bought the wing. This is actually my brother's car, but he's letting me borrow it. I don't think he knows that I'm borrowing it. It doesn't matter. This is going to be the first review video done in shorts and barefoot, but it doesn't matter because we're not tracking this thing. Convertible top is ripped. This thing is cracked. But guys, keep in mind this car has 192,000 miles on it. So the fact that it is still running good to this day is a complete W, okay? If it's half a W, it's an L. Okay, so yeah, the interior is, the seats are mint. They were just freshly done. Let's pop the hood real quick so you guys can see the, don't get me wrong, it is the VQ35DE engine, and this is probably the only 350Z in the entire world that this plastic piece is still on here. The oil is, I think it's mint. This thing burns oil like crazy, but so does every single sports car. It burns more oil the longer it goes because the piston rings get shot, but it does not mean that the power is any less, okay? This engine bay is absolutely filthy like all my other cars because I live on a dirt road, but we're not going to be reviewing this thing on a dirt road because that would just be flat out stupid. So as I'm really starting to consider getting a tattoo. Horsepower. How much horsepower does this thing have? 287 horsepower. How many foot-pounds of torque? I do not know. Siri? And has 274 foot-pounds of torque, but they bumped up the horsepower to 303, I'm pretty sure. For the 2006, they call it the Rev-Up model, and the 2007 has the VQ35HR engine. That engine is crazy, dude. That thing can sometimes keep up with V8s. It's crazy. However, this is the boring base, but doesn't mean it's not fun. Absolutely not. Doesn't mean it doesn't look good. I mean, guys, this car's rough, but that's fire. I'd give... Okay, so steering, we are going to test that right now. So let's get out of this dirt road and get on the pavement. Okay, yeah, guys, as far as sound goes with this car is an easy 7. That V6 sounds so good. Better than Mustangs. I'm sorry for all you muscle boys out there, okay? It did just rain, so this car is gonna get mud absolutely all over it. But it's not my fault, guys. I live on a dirt road, okay? Actually, it's 100% my fault. Never mind. All right, guys, we have made it to the pavement. But before we do that, this thing is a convertible. So let's drop this top right here. Yes, believe it or not, no matter how ripped this is, this thing still does work, which is amazing. Gotta help it out just a little bit. That closes there. Oh, whoa, hold up. Howdy, bro. That's the guy I passed. He probably doesn't like me. Right there. Oops, my bad. And let's put this seat back to its original form so it looks like I have a passenger when I don't. This guy's looking at me like I'm crazy. Everybody does with this thing. But let's get this going. Okay, so steering. Next one is steering. How is steering on this thing, guys? I haven't driven. I've only driven like probably 8 different sports cars. I've probably driven like 25 cars altogether. No, like 30 cars all in general. But I can say this car, aside from maybe a 1999 Eclipse, the 1990 Eclipse is like really close to this, but it's still front wheel drive. This thing's steering is phenomenal. It is absolutely phenomenal. Right now, the steering wheel's probably kind of cocksome. It has 196,000 miles on it, guys. This thing does not have like any maintenance done to it or anything, and the steering still feels good. It's just not exactly aligned, but the steering on these things, when you're coming into a corner, it's razor sharp. When this thing was brand new, it was absolutely razor sharp. This thing was a beast. So the steering on this thing is an 8 out of 10 if we're going on the list. Next one, shifting. How is shifting? I don't know how to explain this. I'm not trying to get too goofy into it, but it is, I'd say the Miata's shifting is super mechanical, but I'd say it's too mechanical to where you can't really shift quick. This thing is like, it still feels very mechanical, but it's much easier. So it's like, I'm not trying to absolutely blow the 350Z right now, but its shifting is just it's amazing. It's the transmission's right there. It's not front wheel drive, so you can feel every shift that you do. I still haven't gotten this thing to pop really, but the shift, guys, the shifting easily 7.5 out of 10. It's really good. It is, however, it is difficult to shift fast if you're new, but once you know this transmission, you can shift unbelievably quick. So we're actually really low on fuel. We got 21 more miles. Drifting. Does this thing drift? Well, that's literally the reason why people buy these cars. So I'm gonna try to do that one last, just so I don't piss off all my neighbors. So when they do call the cops, not if, when they do call the cops, I can be on my way headed back home to watch them on TV. Looks on this thing. How does this thing look? Well, let's park over because the Subaru is gonna think we're already wacko and shit. This thing is a convertible, just like the Miata, so we can park. I'd usually hop out, but this thing feels a little bit more off the ground. How does this thing look? Even with the top down, it's still this. I don't like the 350Z look, the convertible. The coupe, however, stock is like a 6 out of 10 with looks, but with this wing and maybe the paint, aside from the mud, with the top up, even though it's a convertible, I give it a 7, the look, but that's like, it's a hard 7. It's definitely a hard 7. Everyone else can drop your opinion in the comments. Everyone who likes 350Zs, everyone's just gonna blow this thing off. And by blow, I mean suck. However, comfort, is this thing comfortable? I'm gonna say not as comfortable as like a GT Eclipse. The one thing the Eclipse has in common, these seats, you definitely have to be young in order for these seats to be comfortable. But out of all the cars, this one's given me quite a bit of back pain. But it's probably just me. That radio's installed by, it was done professionally, okay? So nobody give me crap about that. Traction control off, because the next one on the list is this thing. I'm sorry, where is it? Oh, I'm sorry, it's drift. It's drift. Well, however, I wanted to try drifting on asphalt, but I guess I could give it a try, but like, let's do this for now. Let's just put it in first gear. We have traction control off. This thing is an absolute just like, on dirt, it just freaking, this thing slides like absolute, like dirt, there's not even a question about it. Can it drift on dirt? Asphalt, it drifts on asphalt like good, but if we're talking dirt, guys, it's like, it's not even a question. I mean, you saw that I was giving it even to 4,000 RPMs and it was still flipping out. So can this thing drift on dirt? Absolutely. Can this thing drift on asphalt? Absolutely. You don't even need to do modifications to drift. If you want to do pro drifting, I've never done pro drifting. I'm only 20 years old. I'm still a virgin. I don't think I needed to let you guys know that, but still. All right, right here, let's do, the next one is 0 to 60 test. So let's do that right here. These neighbors are probably going to get pissed the fuck out, but it doesn't matter because the whole 0 to 60 test is the fact that we're gone. So I don't know if I'm going to be counting. If you guys want to be counting in your head, I can try. I don't know if you guys can actually see the gauges from here. Let me see if I can lift this up. No, that's all it goes. Okay, so it moves with it. Let's try to do a 0 to 60 test. If you guys can see it, I'll see if I can count inside my head. I can just do like 1 Mississippi. I need like a, my fuel is flashing so bad, dude. All right, I need like a tracker here, but I'm just going to see if I can count my head, okay? Let's rev this baby up. Let's launch her. All right, let's go. Woo! Holy crap. Yeah, this thing 0 to 60 actually is like 6 seconds. I'm not the best 0 to 60 time, but that, I could have even did better than that. It was just, I got bad neighbors who tend to call the cops on me, but that's decently quick, dude. You can definitely feel that power. This thing has no lag. This thing's not a 4-cylinder. It's naturally aspirated. There's no turbo lag. There's no nothing. You can just feel that, baby. Do some rev matching because I'm sexy. This thing's hard to get it to pop. We are doing 65 down to 45. I'm just waiting for there to just be like a line of cops just waiting for me right there, but come on, I'm not that bad of a kid. I mean, look at this corner. Look at this corner. You could just eat that up at like 70. And I got these kids looking at me. Yo, what up, dude? Who says kids don't like cars, dude? But anyway, that was a 0 to 60, guys. I wasn't counting. If anybody else was counting, pay attention, please let me know. I did have a lot of wheel spin at the beginning, so that was definitely preventing me from getting a better 0 to 60 time. But I really gotta do it on a road where there isn't neighbors that I'm worried that they're gonna call the cops or something. But the last thing on this list is the fun fact about the 350Z. And I am gonna say probably the fun fact is that these cars on Marketplace are like they are so cheap compared to every other thing. Like if you're trying to get a BMW 335i, like a 2007, you're running at least $7 grand, like $6 to $7 grand. These things you can, if you are paying attention, you can pick them up for $3,500, guys, for almost 300 horsepower. If you get the 2006 model, you can get these things for $3,500 with 300 horsepower. It's unbelievably how cheap these cars are for how amazing they are. I did not like the 350Z. I hated the look, but if you got the 6-speed manual, guys, everything's so mechanical, and my brother made me definitely a Z fan. Woo! And you can't beat that. What? It does. You gotta love the dirt roads and the shitty wiper blades. Woo! Anyway, guys, that about wraps it up for this video. If you guys enjoyed this, make sure to subscribe, turn on the bell, and all that great stuff. Your boy Landon's out, and these neighbors are looking at me just like I'm a psycho, which I am. Woo! Woo! Oh, it's so fun.